Hey everybody, and welcome back to another ESO video. And in the vast world of Tamriel, travelling on foot just won't cut it. And whether you're brand new to the game or starting fresh in 2026, your mount is going to be one of your greatest allies. So today I'm going to show you how to earn your very first mount, how to upgrade your mount, and how to master your first horse here in the Elder Scrolls Online. Let's get into it. So here I am. This is your very first horse that you achieve through the rewards you get for levelling up to level 10. And what a noble steed she is as well. So you set the horse as your active mount in your collections menu and going down to the mounts section. As you can see, there are a lot of mounts that you can gain in ESO, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And in there you'll go to horses and you'll find how you can equip this very first horse as your active mount. So one of the bonuses you've got with using a mount is that you can get yourself around Tamriel a lot quicker and save your little tiny feet a little bit. But to get quicker, because this horse when you first get it is like walking in treacle, you need to feed the horse, and you do that by travelling to any of the major cities and getting yourself to a stable master. And when I say major city, that can be any of the major cities for any of the alliances. I'm in Dishan at Mournhold. It's my favourite main city to travel to be honest. And you can find the stable master on the map, and it is marked with the little horsey symbol so you can spot it every time. So off we go. Let's go and find the stable master so we can show you what it is and what you can level your mount for. They've got the little horsey sign outside, and they pretty much all look the same, to be fair. So when you get to the stable master here, you can see that you can level up your horse speed, stamina and carry capacity. Speed is always nice early on because you want to get around a bit quicker. You definitely want to try and increase your speed as soon as you get this horse. You can feed your horse every 20 hours and it costs you just 250 gold, which doesn't sound a lot, but actually it adds up. And then you can train your horse in stamina, and what that means is your mount can sprint for longer durations, but also if you're being attacked while on your horse, then it takes more attacks before you get dismounted off the horse. Personally, for somebody new to the game, I don't prize this highly. I would much prefer to get some early speed in there so you can move around quicker and move on to the carry capacity, which is the next one. So like I said, in the base game ESO, I would prize carry capacity over stamina, especially early on. It can be invaluable for you as adventurers who don't have access to the ESO Plus bag space benefits. What carry capacity does, it doesn't actually affect your horse, it just gives you an extra inventory slot in your pocket so you can carry more stuff. And as you're adventuring, we all know that carrying more stuff is really important. But that time and money you've invested in feeding your horse, on an early character especially, you can carry that over to any other mount that you use on this character. And there are many. But you have to start from scratch with feeding your mounts on any new character that you create. So let's take a look at some of the mounts that I've accumulated over my 10 years of playing this game on console. And there are so many options that you will kind of get a bit lost in what kind of mounts that you can get. There's multiple sources of mounts, and I'm going to go into a few of them a little bit later. But if you consider that there are 60 speed upgrades, 60 stamina upgrades, and 60 carrying capacity upgrades, that's 180 days it's going to take you to fully upgrade a mount on that character. And not only that, it's a total of 45,000 gold coins, which is pretty gold. But let's go back to our trusty sorrel horse, and I can tell you a little bit more about a cheeky little level 10 upgrade you can give your mount just by entering Cyrodiil and doing a little 5-minute quest. So when you hit level 10, not only do you get your first free horse of the game, you also get an invitation to join the Alliance War in Cyrodiil. Now, Cyrodiil is the area on the map in the centre of Tamriel. And it is where the PvP area where all three alliances get to go into war, basically. And you can go to your starter area for whatever faction you are. Ebonheart up in the top right here, Aldermary Dominion down in the bottom, and Daggerfall over in the left. And there you can start quite a short quest to learn about the siege weapons and everything to do with Cyrodiil. Now, don't skip this quest because you will get an option to skip the training and go straight to the Warlord over there. Don't skip it. And what happens is you'll gain level 3 in the PvP skill tree of Assault, and that gives you access to the skill or passive skill Continuous Attack. Now, Continuous Attack is perfect because it gives you a permanent buff called Gallop. And what that does, it increases your mount speed by 15%. And excitingly, even when your mount speed hits 60, you still get that additional 15% on top of that with this passive skill. So you use one of the skill points you get for completing that tutorial, because you get a few skill points as well. Pop it in Continuous Attack and you've already got a 15% speed boost on your mount throughout the duration of the rest of the game. It is something that I don't know if a lot of people know about if they've never played PvP before. It is such a useful thing as soon as you've hit level 10, especially useful because you get that first horse as well. So in addition to feeding your mount and paying the stable master to do so, you can get crown store items called crown lessons for speed, stamina and carry capacity by buying them from the crown store with real world money, collecting them from crown crates, also known as ESO loot boxes, or by collecting them from the daily login rewards. And typically today in November there are none in the daily login rewards. But here they are in the crown store. You can buy speed, capacity and stamina crown lessons to level up your horse, and doing that as well as having to pay the gold can really accelerate how quickly your mount can level up, so it becomes a much more useful tool in the game to get you around nice and quickly. In addition to spending your real world money or getting them from the daily rewards, you can also use something called endeavours. And you generate endeavours by collecting them from doing weekly and daily endeavour requirements. So you can buy crown store items, including mounts as well as these crown lessons. And it means you don't have to spend any of your real world money. You just do these small little tasks in game, daily and weekly, to generate endeavours. Now, one of my favourite changes they've made to ESO in recent years has been that your mount can now swim. It used to drive me up the wall. I used to step a little too deep into any water. I was trying to run past some enemies quickly and I put a toe too deep in the water and off I would come off my mount and I was now swimming. But now, if you're on your horse or on your mount and you enter deep water, your horse will swim with you, which is so useful. So we've got your first mount, and you're all set up, you know how to feed it, you know how to look after it. But for a little bit later in the game, I want to talk about champion points, and specifically 2 active champion point skills from the green tree. Gifted Rider is the first one. It's an active champion skill, so you need to be able to have it on your active bar. But it increases your mount speed by 2% at each stage. And for a maximum of 10% speed increase, that also stacks with the other bonuses. So the 60% from feeding your horse, the 15% from continuous attack. It is absolutely mega and one of the key green tree champion points. So if you've got a character that you've leveled up to champion point level and you've started a brand new character, you could already assign any champion points to that brand new character. So it might not help you with your first character, but it certainly might help you with any subsequent characters. So you can use your champion points straight away. The second one is War Mount. It's another active skill, so you've got to put it on your bar. And it improves your mastery of mounts and removes all the stamina costs for that mount outside of combat. And it means you can basically sprint for, well, forever, actually. As long as no one attacks you and tries to get you off your mount, you can just keep sprinting. Personally, I don't see it as a benefit early in the game. You've got 75 champion points you need to apply. There are much better places to put that early on, because you'll get the 60% from leveling up your horse every day, the 15% from continuous attack, plus the 10% from gifted rider, and that means you're already on 85% increase in your mount speed. So every now and then, a Golden Pursuit challenge might reward you with a new mount for completing specific activities as well. Golden Pursuits often include DLC content, but when there is enough activities listed, you can still achieve any of the amounts that might be there and avoid the DLC content. We've currently got the Writhing Wall Golden Pursuit running at the moment, and you needed to complete 20 of the list below to get your new mount. I've already done 34 out of the 20, and we've still got 19 days left. So I'm pretty sure as a base game only player, there are times when you'll be able to achieve those kind of end of Golden Pursuit rewards as well. Now there's one more thing I want to talk to you about with regards to mounts, and that they can actually be collected through the event ticket process as well, including the one that I'm currently riding now, an Indrik mount. So you collect event tickets by completing daily actions during events, and how many you earn depends on the event itself. But you need to be here in Belkarth and go and visit the Indrik vendor. Now we haven't got an event on at the moment as I'm talking to you guys. The next one's not going to be for at least a month and a half. But I thought it'd be worthwhile me popping over to Belkarth here to kind of show you where it is located. It's in Craglorn, which is a base game area, and it's up by the guild traders just outside of Belkarth, just up from the way shrine there. And there's the guild traders just over there, so not far away. And you come here, and with your event tickets, 5 exactly, you can buy feathers, of which there are 4 different ones. And once you've got all 4 feathers, you can morph them or change them into the base Indrik mount. From there, you can further morph the mount by purchasing other items from this Indrik vendor to change your mount into a fancier version like the Indrik that I was riding just now. It sounds complicated, and it is a little bit, but I am planning a future video to explain it all when the next event is on. This is the base Indrik that you get, the nascent Indrik, and then you buy the additional bits to be able to turn them into fancier Indriks like this one here, and the 2 next to each other actually. So this is a really good way for you to acquire some nice, cute little mounts without having to spend a penny in the crown store or spend any of your hard-earned gold to get yourself a different mount. So I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about mounts. You've got your first ever mount at level 10. You know you've got to go to Cyrodiil to do those introductory quests. Don't skip them to get the tutorial finished so you can get level 3 in the assault skill line to unlock that continuous attack, that kind of really easy 15% speed boost. You know, if you've got some champion points on any other characters, you can use them in any brand new characters from level 1 to give your mounts a little bit of extra boost. And you know the difference between stamina upgrades and carrying capacity upgrades, and which ones you think are going to benefit you early on in the game. If you have got any value out of this video, I would appreciate you hitting the like button and subscribing. I've got so much content planned for the next few weeks and months. I'd love to share it with you. Thanks for watching.